At the end of the street lies the border separating Cameroon from the Central African Republic. The barrier's closed, tightly guarded by Cameroon's armed forces. But Central Africans, fleeing the violence, are still able to make their way across. Most of them end up staying in camps such as this one in Gado, set up 30 kilometres after the border. But workers are struggling to take in the many who've already made it here.
L'attribution des abris tient compte de la taille de famille.
Maurice Moussouravi and his team from the United Nations Human Rights Office are battling to accommodate thousands of refugees. They've set up 300 new tents, but they doubt this will be enough after violence resumed following the outcome of the presidential election.
Nous avons, depuis les derniers événements survenus en RCA, nous avons enregistré plus de 5000 personnes. Nous conjuguons tous l'effort pour pouvoir soulager tant ça peut la souffrance de cette population déjà vulnérable.
Vanessa, a young disabled woman, together with her 2 daughters, are among the latest to make it to the camp. They're part of the 270 Central Africans who fled their villages near the town of Bois, a regular target for rebel groups. A few kilometres away, the Cameroonian armies patrolling the no man's land between the 2 countries.
Blue Sky fait son entrée dans le dispositif. L'inspection commence par Golf, les postes Golf, Golf 1, Golf 2, Golf 3.
Under the orders of Colonel Ve, they're looking out for any signs the violence could be heading towards the border and preparing to stop rebels from trying to destabilise the country. In the last months, several rebels have managed to make it through, led by armed groups patrolling on the other side of the border.
Sango, quelle est la situation de ton poste?
The rebels are trying to close in on the country's capital, Bangui, by setting up blockades, some as far out as the border.
Les rebelles se sont donné 2 objectifs, faire tomber Bangui et contrôler la main supply road, c'est-à-dire le grand corridor qui part de Garoua-Boulaye jusqu'à Bangui. Et la poussée des rebelles a fait que nous venions jeter ces dispositifs fermes. Et c'est comme ça qu'on a donc pu stopper l'avancée des rebelles. Et le dispositif est, comme vous le voyez.
The road is vital for the Central African Republic. It's an economic axe linking the landlocked country to Cameroon. Attacks along the road have caused havoc to trade. It's too dangerous to drive all the way to Bangui. And with the border now closed, hundreds of lorry drivers are stuck, waiting for the barrier to reopen.
On ne mange même pas bien. Regarde comment on prépare ici.
Over 800 drivers have been stuck on this wasteland for over a month, with food stocks running low and goods going bad on the back of their lorries. They're getting worried. Aubin hasn't heard from his family back in the Central African Republic since the violence broke out.
Nous sommes des transporteurs, on n'est même pas dans la politique. Mais ce qui passe maintenant sur notre route, on ne sait même pas. On n'a aucune information de nos familles là-bas maintenant. On ne sait même pas comment ils vivent là-bas. On est bloqué, on est dépassé même.
On the other side, there's a small glimmer of hope as guards briefly open the border, letting 30 lorry drivers back into Cameroon. And business owners in the trade hub of Garoua-Boulaye are also suffering from the consequences of the closure. Central Africans account for 98% of their customers, and sales came to a sudden standstill when the violence broke out on the other side of the border. Samson Timan is struggling to sell his stocks of women's fashion accessories, and he says he's lost 2 months' worth of revenue since the violence resumed in December.
Voici les gars, presque 9 heures, il n'y a personne au marché. Et comme ça depuis le 18 décembre. Il y a encore le stock qu'on a pris en décembre qui est encore bloqué sur place. Si vous faites même un tour dans la ville, vous allez constater que tout est mort. La ville de Garoua
à cause des Centrafricains. Et quand c'est bloqué là-bas, nous, on ne travaille pratiquement rien ici. Vraiment, c'est compliqué.
It's a constant worry for shopkeepers here. If the violence isn't kept under control, their situation will quickly worsen too. The United Nations Refugee Agency says that at least 60,000 Central Africans have already fled to one of their neighbouring countries.